This one product has become my holy grail, and in my travel bag, I will kick some products out to make room for this. Which one is it? You'll have to watch the video to find out. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mel, and on my channel I discuss everything to do with makeup, skincare, and sometimes a little bit of style for the over 50 woman. You'll have to excuse me if I sound a little nasally. I'm just getting over a bit of a cold, so I may have a little bit of a hacking cough here every once in a while, but we're gonna get through this. I wanted to make this video because it is travel season right now, right? We're in the summertime. Now my video is going to be a little bit more geared to if you are using strictly a carry-on. I find that as you know, the situations that happened in it, like we heard in the winter time, and things have kind of gotten a little bit worse, I think. People that are, you're checking a bag and they get lost, they get sent somewhere else, and you are without your bag when you get to your location. So I have really downsized my what I take and try to fit that all into a carry-on. I do a lot of traveling for my full-time job, not YouTube. YouTube is not my full-time job, for my actual Monday to Friday job. And I do have to do traveling for that. I have it down to a bit of a science now of what products I take. And I thought it would be fun. I haven't done one of these actually in several years where I've made like a travel makeup bag. And also I'm going to include like a few skincare products as well. Now I will show you how I created this look. This was all products that I used that I'm going to be actually taking on my next trip, which is going to be happening in about a week. I'm going on another work trip. But I also wanted to give you guys options. So where I can, I'm going to just kind of throw in, hey, this is another option you can use. You don't have to go out and run out and buy the products that I'm showing you. So you can decide what other, there's other brands that have, certain products. By all means, use what you have on hand already. So we have a lot of ground to cover. So make sure you grab yourself a beverage, a snack, and we're going to get right into it. We're going to start off first. I find it easier to keep myself organized. We're going to start with how I apply products, and then that way I know I have everything that I need when I get to my destination. I know I have everything there. So I separate my makeup products and skincare products into two categories. I put one into the liquids, gels, and aerosols, which I have to fit into this little bag here. So this is supposed to hold 1 liter of those type of products, and you can only have like one product can only go up to 100 milliliters. And then all of my other products that I have, I stick into this little makeup bag. So this was very repurposed. You can see it's a little bit dirty because I use this all the time. This ended up being from like several years ago. I bought at the end of the Christmas season in one of the drugstores. They sometimes are selling off, like they're trying to clear out any gift sets and all that sort of stuff. Well, this ended up being a Marcelle Christmas gift set. I didn't even care about what was in the products. It was the bag that I was looking at, because I know that they do prefer to have stuff like when it's going through the scanner, they like to see that what can they see inside for what products you have. So I just love that this was clear already. Fits really nicely into my carry-on bag. I roll all of my clothes and everything, so I try and utilize the space as much as I can in my carry-on. Just a hint, if you guys ever are looking for stuff like that, I always say look at like the end of the seasons when they're trying to clear stuff out. Another suggestion, every year I go after, these come out at Christmas time, but I've noticed that they've started coming out a little bit more throughout the year, but it's the Sephora gift sets. But what I love about these is they have just little sample sizes that you can use. So these are always a great find, and I'm also gonna try and do this as a speed review. I don't want this video to be extremely long, so these are going to be like really speed reviews. So I love products that are multi-purpose, and that way I'm taking less stuff with me. It's the La Roche-Posay, the Anthelios Mineral 50 sunscreen. So this is a tinted moisturizer, and what I like about this one is the shade that it gives me, because I find sometimes tinted moisturizers can almost look a little bit orange on you. If you just don't find the right one, it can look really either gray or orange. Don't like those ones. This one gives me just a really nice bronzy kind of color. This is the first thing that I applied. So I'm going to use this as my moisturizer, but then I'm also using it as my sunscreen. A great product that I can multi-purpose. Don't necessarily have to take a separate moisturizer, a separate sunscreen with me. But if you wanted to, there is some brands that do make smaller sizes that you can take along with you. So the one is the Garnier, the Clearly Brighter Even Tone Daily Moisturizer. This is a 75 ml. And again, this one is one of those great ones because it is multi-purpose. It's a great moisturizer. I love this one. It gives me, I have a nice radiance after I use this one, but then the SPF in it it's a 30. So this is a great find if you're looking for something just to throw in your bag. I take this little one with me and I use it specifically on my face because I can do double duty with this. It's the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. This is an SPF 40, but what I love about this one is I can act as a primer as well. What this one does is it's a clear formula. So you can see right there, it is totally clear, but it absorbs so beautifully into the skin. And it has a little bit of a slip to it, like slight slip to it. And you'll have to excuse my nails. I haven't done my nails yet. I usually wait right until the last minute before I do my nails, like when I'm going away. And then that way I know I have so many days before it's going to start chipping and everything, because I don't really want to take nail polish with me. So that's why I have no nail polish on right now. And then some nice sizes of SPF sunscreen that you can take along with you. I've been loving this one. I find I don't get any sort of reaction from this product. So it's the Neutrogena Hydro Boost, the SPF 30. Now this is an 88 ml, so again, well within the guidelines of using in that bag, but this absorbs really nicely into the skin. It does, I don't know if you've ever used the other Hydro Boost products. I think they are fantastic. I've used the moisturizer and the eye cream. It comes out almost looking like a blue. Absorbs really nicely, doesn't leave any sort of cast on there at all, and it has that Hydro Boost smell. Unless you've tried it, it's hard to explain what it smells like, but it just has like a little bit of a fragrance to it. One of my new finds that I just recently came across, this is the Sun Bum Face Mist. Again, you could technically take this in your bag because it's like right at 100 mils. If you want to just do some touch up throughout the day, this is a great mist for it. I'll spray it and then you can just kind of see how it's dispersed. But see how lovely that is? Just kind of goes all over your face. I don't have any reaction to this, and it smells just amazing, just an amazing smell. Now, trying to keep things really minimal. This is the Clinique. Let me read because it's a really tiny little bottle and I can barely read it. So this is the Clinique All About Eyes Eye Cream. But look at how tiny this is. So this came out of one of these boxes. So keep in mind what I said earlier. This was one of those boxes that I got right after Christmas. They were clearing it out, and it came with a cleanser, a overnight lip mask, the Clinique's Take the Day Off makeup remover, which I know is really popular, and then the eye cream. I thought this would be great for traveling, and it has a fairly good amount in there. This product here was in another gift set that I got. This is the Clinique Smart SPF 15. This is Custom Repair Moisturizer. But what I'm going to do is use this as a night cream because it's such a thick consistency. Like it's quite a thick cream. And then this is the cleanser that came out of that box. So one of the things that I do, and I know it's not my favorite thing to do because I really try and watch things being environmentally friendly and all that sort of stuff. But these really do help in a situation where you are traveling and you just need to get your makeup off. So I use the Neutrogena All-in-One Makeup Removing Cleansing Wipes. Now what I love about these is they come all individual. So you can see I've used them I've used them a lot. But these are just like individual little packets. So at night when I'm at my hotel room, I just can take this, wipe off my makeup, and then I use this cleanser to get all of the last little bit of residual stuff off my eyes and stuff. I find these don't do 100% job of taking off like my mascara and sometimes my waterproof eyeshadow. So then I use the Clinique, and that gets the remainder of the makeup off. If you're somebody that just, you can't bring yourself to use the wipes, I get it. I will suggest using, these are the Erase Your Face. These are reusable makeup removing cloths. So these are another great option. They have like several uses. I think this says on the bottom of the package that, did you know each towel replaces over 500 disposable wipes? Well, that's a lot of disposable wipes. And there's two cloths in here. So another great option, just take the cloth with you, and then you can just kind of air dry it in the room or whatever, like hang it over the towel rack or that sort of thing. I normally only wash my hair 2 to 3 times a week. I don't wash my hair every day. It doesn't need it. It's long, it's dry. I can usually refresh it. A lot of times I use a dry shampoo. So there is usually trial sizes of like a whole bunch of different dry shampoos. This is just the one that I happen to have. It's the Batiste. This is the dry shampoo volumizing. Another trick that I do is I always check out if I am, whatever hotel I'm going to, I always look to see whether they will have toiletries in the room. And then I don't need to take a shampoo or conditioner with me. I know that they'll be in the room. Now, I know that's not always an option, especially if you are, renting out like an Airbnb, that sort of thing. There may not be toiletries there. I'll sometimes grab from the hotel, like the little travel sizes. So then I can use them like repeatedly. So I'll use them like in the hotel room, but then I'm just going to take them with me because they'll probably just throw them out anyhow. So I take them with me, and then I use them again down the road, wherever, whatever, like place I'm going to. So that kind of cuts down space if I don't need to take like shampoo, conditioner with me. A couple of things that I do have to take though, if I am going to be doing my hair, is I take a travel size of hairspray. And then I also need like a little bit of a defrizzing cream because my hair just, well, it's just awful right now. My hair is not, I'm actually going for a haircut pretty quick here because this is just like irritating me. So I stick with the John Frieda, the Frizz Ease. This is called the Secret Weapon because I flat iron my hair a lot, or I use like a really hot curling iron. I want something that's going to be a heat protectant. So sometimes when you order stuff off of Sephora, I find it's more, you have to do it more online. And a lot of times they'll say, if you spend over $25, there's like a free little gift that they'll give you. So the free gift ended up being the Bumble and Bumble Heat Shield, which is great because this is just like a little sample size, has lots of there's lots of product in there. So that'll do me like several times. So that was a great little find. I always say before you, always check, like if you're on the Sephora website, always check down at the bottom there. It'll have like offers and that sort of thing. So when you click on that offer, it usually will pop up with stuff that says, like I said, sometimes there's more times there's a limit. Like either you spend $25 or $35. As it goes up, it increases the little gift. And sometimes you can get some really nice stuff actually. Also, I have a little trial size of toothpaste. I usually get this from my dentist, just like a little freebie. But again, it has to go in with this. It has to go in here because toothpaste is considered like gel, aerosol, that sort of thing. And then one of the products that I can't go without, and I need some sort of like a lip product on my lips at night. So my favorite is the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Mask. This is such a fabulous, I think this product is better than the Laneige one. I love this one way more. When you put it on, it has just like a little bit of tingle, but nothing outrageous. It's not making your lips burn or anything like that. Sorry, and then while I was on the subject of the Sephora, but you can get this usually at like drugstores at their cosmetic counter. Just ask if they have like little sample sizes or little trial sizes that they'll give out, and sometimes they do. Now, I'm going to just, like all of these, how you get like little packets, like Sephora always puts like little packets in with their online orders. And sometimes in the store, they'll throw some stuff into your bag as well. So these are just like these are like one use type of things. Sometimes you can get a couple uses out of them. So like I said, I'm not going to go through everything. I have like a ton of these, but again, just like a little option, little packet size that you can just take with you. You're not having to take a bunch of other stuff with you. Another thing you can do is putting, like if you have your own special lotions that you just love to use, getting like little empty containers, and you can just, if it's a lotion, just putting in enough lotion that you think you're going to need for like 1 week, 2 weeks, however long you're gone. So the other product that I used today, because I think it does a really nice job of complementing that tinted sunscreen that I have on. And it's the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. I love this stuff, you guys. The coverage is quite amazing, actually, for such an affordable product. This one I have in the shade light medium. But I love products that you can also apply with your fingers. So like I applied that tinted moisturizer with my fingers. This I applied with my fingers. And then after, what I do is I'll either go in with like a brush or a sponge just to kind of clean up any areas, smooth out any areas that I may have gotten maybe a little bit too much product. But always remember, your fingers are your tools as well. So I try and use my fingers where I can and take minimal brushes and that sort of thing with me. I wanted a little bit more coverage, so a great option is a stick foundation. Now, the one that I used today is the Merit. This is the Complexion stick, so it's technically not a foundation because you can use it as a foundation, you can use it as a concealer, and this one just melts into your skin. Just a great product. Love it. And the nice thing is, like anything sticks, like sticks and powders, you can just stick that into your regular makeup bag. So that's why I said I have 2 categories. I have my liquids that I stick into the one bag, and then all of my other products I stick into that other makeup bag that I showed you. And then I love taking this little Merit brush with me because it's so small. Like, look at how tiny that is. And this is a great little brush. If you've never used it, I highly recommend it. It melts, like it just helps all the product just melt into the skin. I love how little, my hands are little, like I have little hands. So when I have this brush in my hand, it's just so amazing. I love it. A couple of products that I can throw into that other bag is I have a stick deodorant. And then I can't live without my Nivea. This is just my lip balm. But because it is a solid, it can go into my regular makeup bag. Another thing that I throw in there, I always make sure I have a pencil sharpener just in case. You never know when you're going to need it. But again, it doesn't really count towards anything. It's not, taking up space a lot, really. I have Q-tips. I always make sure I take some Q-tips with me. Hair bands, I always make sure I have like a couple of these elastic hair bands with me. One of the things that I do to cut down again on liquids is I take a bar soap. My favorite is the Dove brand. I love the Dove bar soap. I find it's really nice on my sensitive skin. So the one product that I will not sacrifice, it has become my absolute holy grail, and I love how it makes my under eye area look. Darkness is gone. I don't get any creasing. It's great because it's a primer as well as a color corrector, and it's the Clinique, the color corrector. So this has to go with me. Like this is only 6 mils. So this quite easily fits into this bag right here, because you have to be able to close this bag as well. But I can still fit some stuff in there. The concealer I'm going to take today, because it is such a tiny little package. It's the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. This one I have in the shade Beige. But I love the size of this one. It's so easy to throw into, again, this bag, and I still have room left over. And with that one, I just apply the color corrector. I just apply with my fingertips. And then the actual concealer, I apply with my fingertips, and then I use my Angie Hot and Flashy concealer brush. While we're talking about it, I'll just quickly go through and show you the brushes that I'm taking along, because I don't take a lot with me. Again, I like to try and use brushes that are multi-purpose. So a great one is the e.l.f. This is a Complexion dual brush. So if you can see on the top here, and I keep it in the package because it stays clean that way, but I also use this package for traveling. And a lot of the e.l.f. brushes come in these packages that you can just still reuse. The little flap on it has a little flap on the back that you can reseal it. But I love this brush because you can use it for your face. So this one side is for your face, and then you can use this other side if you want to apply eyeshadow. You can use this for applying your concealer. So this is a great little brush. Then I'm also taking along, like I said, the Angie Hot and Flashy for my concealer. I only take 2 eyeshadow brushes with me. So one is like a nice fluffy blender brush. This one happens to be the NYX. This is just basically the NYX fluffy eyeshadow brush. And then I'm also taking another, more of a detailed brush that I can get product right into the corners of my eyes. And this is the BK Beauty. This is the 211 brush. If you don't have one of these brushes, I highly recommend getting it. So this is a Real Techniques. It's just like a little angle brush, but very versatile. You can use this to kind of diffuse your eyeliner. Say you have eyeshadow that you want to apply as your eyeliner. You can do that, like a dark shade. You can use that. I also use it to apply eyeshadow under my eyes. I use this and I put it under my eyes. So very versatile tool. The face brush I'm going to take today is the BK Beauty. This is the 112 brush. But what I love about this one is I use it for my bronzer, and then I also use it for my blush. I know people will say, why you shouldn't be using it as a multi thing like that. But what I usually end up doing is I put my bronzer on first, and then I take like a cloth and I wipe off all the stuff, and then I use it for my blush. But again, it just cuts down on the tools that I'm having to take. So you can multi-purpose your blush and your bronzer and that sort of thing. And last but not least, I am going to be taking the BK Beauty. This is the 108 brush. Now this is great if, say, you want to apply powder under your eyes, or this is also great for like highlighter, if you have like a powder highlighter. So I just take this one as a kind of like a multi-purpose kind of brush. But what I like about this, like I said, this little packet here, I can actually stick some of these brushes into this container. So I've just stuck 3 little brushes in here, the ones that I'm more concerned about, and then that can go into my actual makeup bag. What I usually do a lot with my brushes so that they don't get damaged is I just get an elastic band and I put them together in a bundle, and I stick those into the travel bag. Now another great multi-purpose product, I'm using the Bare Minerals one, and this is a powder foundation. But what's great about powder foundations is you can also use them just as a powder. So if you are somebody, like I don't actually use a lot of powder on my face anymore. I find my skin is just so dry that a lot of products that I use, I like the dewiness and the radiance that comes from those products. But if you are somebody that uses powder, this is just a great option. So this one I have in the shade Light 25 Neutral. Now, another tip that I have is trying to use one of your products that comes with a mirror. That way you don't have to necessarily rely on like your bathroom mirror. You can put makeup on anywhere kind of thing, as long as you have like a little mirror. So I love products that have mirrors. Instead of taking another brush with me that, maybe I don't want to use it for that specific purpose. These, like usually a powder foundation comes with like a little, like a spongy type of thing. Like even just doing 2 dabs, you get a lot of product on there. And then I just very gently put powder where I think I'm going to need it the most. So usually just in my T-zone, a little bit up on my forehead. And then you can just use your powder, like if you don't want to take any liquid foundations with you, powder foundations are a great option. I find on my dry skin, they're not the best. That's why I usually stick to more like regular foundations. But if you're somebody that has like oily skin or more of like normal combination, like a powder foundation would be a really good choice for you. Love taking different lipsticks because I think as you change your lipstick up, it just kind of changes the look of your face. And then also eyeshadow. I like to have different eyeshadow palettes that can just kind of change the look. Like my Complexion products, okay, they just kind of, sometimes they can just kind of look the same. It doesn't really bother me to have my same Complexion products, but I love playing with eyeshadows and lips. Some really nice compact type of products you can take along with you for eyeshadows. And keep in mind, you can also use just like if you have like a bronzer, like a powder bronzer and a powder blush, you can use those as your eyeshadows. Like they look great. I use them all the time. If I'm just like doing a quick one and done, get out the door kind of thing, I just slap that on and I'm out the door. But for eyeshadow palette, like an actual eyeshadow palette, these are great. Like I've shown these 100 times on my channel. Like the e.l.f. little minis, I have a whole bunch of these. I can't find them right now where they're in one of my totes over there. But these are a great option. Shown these on my channel 100 times. These are the little Essence palettes. I have a bunch of these. They're just a great little find. You get a nice little complement of shades to complete a look. So even just taking 2 of them with you would be awesome. And then I really, really enjoy this Physicians Formula little palette. It's great. It's compact, great for travel. Really nice buttery shades. But again, they're all like powdered eyeshadows, so they can just go into my regular makeup bag. The one product that I use today, if you are going somewhere traveling and it's like humid and you're, you're worried about your makeup getting runny and that sort of thing or wearing off, eyeshadow sticks are another great option. The one that I happen to have is the Marcelle. I think this is like a limited edition that they brought out for the summertime, but there's other brands like e.l.f. has like shadow sticks. There's Laura Mercier, there's Bobbi Brown. They all have eyeshadow sticks, but these are just great options. They're like a one and done. Throw them on your eyes. This shade I absolutely adore. It is such a great summer shade. So eyeshadow sticks, great option. My other little love is these little Revlon. The little color stay eyeshadow, very creamy formula. This is just the one shade that I have in particular. It's that one right there. It's like a bronzy shade. I went and got a whole bunch of these because I just think that they are wonderful because I can just use my finger and just put it on with my finger. One of those type of products, I don't need to take a brush with me. I can just throw these into my bag. I am only taking 3 eyeliners with me. So the one I'm going to use a lot is the L'Oreal Infallible. This I have in the shade, it's just like a brown. It's right there. This is the one that I use the most for doing my tight lining. And then I also threw it just on my upper lash, and then I diffused it out with just that brush. So this is one of my favorites. It's the Sephora retractable eyeliner. This one is in the shade Shimmer Taupe. This looks so lovely on my bottom, like under my lash area. This is such a pretty shade. That one right there. So it's almost like a coppery kind of color, and it leaves just a little bit of hint of like a shimmer under your eye. You can use this like to do like you're even on top, like to kind of blend everything together. It's waterproof. It doesn't budge. It's going to stay there all day. And then the third one I'm taking is my Rimmel. I think it's called the Scandalize. Well, it is. You can see it's just so worn off. I don't even know what the name is anymore. But this is just like a nude shade. So it's just on the top here. But it's just like a nice cream color right in my bottom waterline. I always like to put like a little bit of like a cream color. Kind of brightens up the eye area. I'm only taking 1 mascara. I know, shocking. But I am. Here's the thing. When I am trying to remove my makeup at night, and I just want to do it really simple. I don't want to be tugging on my eye. I'm not a big waterproof mascara person. I find the waterproof mascara is just too hard to get off. Even sometimes regular mascaras can be really tough to try and get those off. And when I have limited supply of stuff that I'm using to try and remove my makeup, I want to take something that I know is tried and true. I know I can remove it really easily. And that's the Merit. So the Merit mascara is a tubing mascara. It is so easy to remove. Like literally, it just glides off, and that's why I love it. I don't wake up in the morning and still have raccoon eyes, and smudged everywhere like I have with other mascaras. So this has really become my favorite mascara. One thing that I do make sure that I do when I'm using just strictly mascara, no lashes, is I make sure to curl my lashes. Curling your lashes will again help with that lengthening. And this is just like my favorite eyelash curler. The Rephr eyelash curler is like the best one out there. I've tried a bunch of drugstore ones, and I still come back to this one. One of my favorite bronzers right now that I am loving is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour bronzer. I have this one in the shade light medium. It's just a really nice formula, and it has one of those, again, compacts that has a little mirror in it. But I like how it's not too chalky. I have that one on today as well. It goes on smoothly, not streaky at all. And for my skin tone, it's the perfect shade for me. And it never looks like blotchy. It doesn't look like that gray kind. Sometimes bronzers can kind of give you that gray kind of look, but this one it's just amazing. It's a great one. Oh, and that was the other, I just like the size. The size is small. And then another option, I've had this one around for a while, and I've taken this on my travels as well. And it's a little Hoola bronzer. But this, I don't know if you've ever used the Hoola bronzer. It's a really nice shade. Creamy formula, like when I'm going like this with my fingertips right now, it's very, very creamy. So that's another great bronzer, but I just like the size. And a couple of options for blushes. This is one of my favorite little blushes. It's such, well, I love the size. I just love the size. It's just too cute. And then two, it's a very versatile blush because even though it may not look like it, but there's actually a couple of different shade options you can go with. So down here, if you just run your brush along the bottom, you'll get more of like a darker blush when you're applying it. And then this one here, so today I used these ones here, and I just run my brush along those little along the petals there, and it's going to give me a little bit of a lighter touch. So like you can see today, it just looks very warm shade, and then it's just like a very buttery texture to the formula. You can't go wrong with the little Fenty blush. This one I have in the shade Petal Poppin. Now this is more of a cream type of formula. Very, very, very pretty. That's a shade right there. Isn't that gorgeous? Like, look at that. Don't forget to throw your sponge in if you have a sponge. I highly recommend having a sponge. One of the reasons is that you can use this to apply different products. So like say you have that cream blush, you can use your sponge to apply cream products or even like powder products if you want to use this to set your powder under your eyes. So using a sponge is actually a really, really great option. It just doesn't apply foundation. It has a lot of different uses. So I always suggest you taking a sponge with you. Now, highlighters I find get a little bit tricky. One of my favorite highlighters is a liquid, so I don't really want to take it along. What I opted for was the Merit. This is the Day Glow highlighter. It's really pretty. It's like a balm type of product. It's right there just on my kind of my wrist area. It's very subtle, which I like. You can apply this, so sometimes I'll put it like on the back of my hand and apply it that way, or you can just apply it directly to your cheek. But you see how it just kind of gives you a nice little glow. It's not over the top. If you're looking for a drugstore option, you can't go wrong with the NYX Wonder Stick. Now, what I like about this one is it is a multi-purpose. So you can contour with this and also highlight. So this one side is your contour stick. I'm going to actually start putting stuff on this side here. So there's the contour. You can use it like as a bronzer as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be used as a contour. And then there's the highlighter. Look at how pretty that is. So it's that one right there. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. And you would do the same thing, just apply it right to your cheek. Now, if you do like more of a powder highlighter, I love the Milani. So this is the baked highlighter. I have this in the shade Champagne d'Oro. Now, unfortunately, it is broken, so I'm just going to kind of hold on to it here. A really pretty shade. Like the name suggests, it's more of like on the goldy kind of side, but very pretty. A creamy texture, will stay in place all day, doesn't fade. Now, another fantastic way to go if you're looking for multi-purpose products and you're trying to conserve space. So I recommend face palettes. Now, I have a high-end one and a drugstore version. So the first one I'm going to show you is a Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Instant Look of Love palette. Now, unfortunately, this one eyeshadow shade decided to break apart on me. So that is the shimmer shade, but I still use the palette. It's lovely. Now what you have though, so these three top ones here are eyeshadows. Then you have this here is like a powder. This one here is your bronzer. The one in the middle is a highlighter, and then this is your blush. So you can basically create a whole look using just this palette. So it's a little bit of an investment, but I think it's, well, because you're getting the Charlotte Tilbury quality is just phenomenal. The drugstore version is the Physicians Formula Butter Dream Team palette. So you have the same things. So over here you have a matte bronzer and a regular bronzer. You have two blushes in the middle. And then you have, this is like a face powder, and then there's a highlighter. So I think that's another great idea. This one, yes, it's a little bit larger, but it is one of those ones, like I can fit this one if I have like my bag here. This can fit in there. I am taking 3 lip liners with me. And the reason I like the 3 different shades of these lip liners is because a lot of times you can just throw a lip liner on and then go over it with a gloss and you're good for the day. Like that will be, you don't even need like a lipstick. But the ones I'm going to be using is the super affordable. This is the Essence 8 Hour Matte lip liner. So it's that pink shade right there. And this is the shade Pink Blush. And then I'm going in with my Sephora lip liner. And this one is called Nothing But Nude. And the nice thing about the Sephora line is the Sephora collection line is very comparable to drugstore prices. If you ever check them out, like you'd be surprised probably that you're getting these from Sephora, but really, really good prices. So that's the one right there. It's like a nude shade. The thing I like about nude shades is they are pretty versatile. They'll kind of go with any kind of lip color. And this is actually the shade I'm wearing today. So this is the BK Beauty lip liner. And I have this one in the shade Warm Spice. It's this one right in the middle there. A really, really pretty shade. Again, very versatile. You can wear it with numerous different lip colors. I'm taking 5 different lipsticks. Like I said to you earlier, I love just changing it up with my lipstick. You know, like maybe in the morning I start off with one color and, you know, by the evening I'm trying out another color. So I have some affordable options and then also ones that are kind of on the higher price point. So first off, I'm gonna take 2 of my Milani. Okay, I just had to go wash my hands because I really was running out of hand space, so I'm back now. All right, so these are I believe they're called Lip Fetish lipsticks by Milani. So this one is in the shade, this is the shade Pleasure. This is so, so pretty. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous shade. And then I also like to have like a little pop of color. Beautiful. And that is the shade Petal. And even though they say they're a matte, they're not drying on the lips, which is really, really nice. So my third option is by e.l.f. This is the shade Dirty Talk. And this is actually what I'm wearing today. So I put on the Warm Spice lip liner and then I put this shade on. And this is so beautiful. It's like a dusty rose. Oh, I am in love with this shade. Now the 2 other shades I'm going to take with me is the BK Beauty. I'm in love with this shade for the summertime. It is gorgeous. I think it just screams summer. It's like a nice coral shade and it is called Empower. But look at that. Like you are going to stand out with that. It's gorgeous. And then the other shade that I'm testing out right now, it's a limited edition shade by Merit. And it's I think it just came out kind of for the summertime, but it's a beautiful red. Let me just see exactly what the name is here. Aperitif. And if you've ever used the Merit lipsticks, they are just gorgeous. The creaminess, they stay on. They're almost like have a little bit of a stain to them. But the red, like here it is right there. The red, this limited edition shade, one of those reds that's designed for everybody. It has a bit of a bluish tinge to it, which really does go with everybody's skin tone. And also it helps your teeth look a little bit whiter. And then I'm only going to take 1 gloss. Yep, I am only taking 1 gloss. And it's the Maybelline, the Lifter Gloss. This one is in the shade, I have a whole bunch of them, but this one I'm going to take in particular, it's Ice. Because I think this one just goes with so many different shades. And I find it just takes your lips to another level, right? Like look at how glossy those look. And it's not a sticky gloss. I don't like sticky glosses. And then to finish off what I'm packing, and this is the last thing I can possibly put into that bag, it's a setting spray. So I really like to have my makeup last all day when I'm out. Either I'm working on my work trip or if I'm going on vacation. I just like to have my makeup. I don't want to be thinking about having to retouch it throughout the day. It's the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is a great setting spray. This really does help your makeup stay on for a long time. And the spritz is actually quite a nice spritz. Let's see here. See how it just kind of disperses it? It doesn't like go directly into your face, which is nice. And it's the perfect size. It is 15 mils. So you can see here, it's the very last thing. And with all of my stuff in here, look you guys, I'm still able, it's right up to the brim. It's full. All right, and then there is the rest of my stuff. And you can still see I have like a bunch of room left up on the top. So everything that I'm taking that I showed you guys still doesn't fill this up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me some comments down below of what sort of tips and tricks that you have when you travel and what type of products you take. If you haven't already, I would love for you to consider subscribing to my channel. Make sure to hit that notification bell that's right beside the subscribe button, and that way you're notified whenever I upload new videos. make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. That also helps my channel out a lot. And I just want to thank you if you ever do use any of my affiliate links. I thank you very much. That just helps support my channel. I do get like a very, very small commission whenever people use my links, and there's no pressure to do that. But just thank you very much if you ever do. I will have everything linked and listed down below. I'm going to try and put as much stuff in my description box. The reason I say that is because we are, like as content creators, we are only allowed to put so many characters into that description box. I hopefully can get through most of the stuff that I showed you guys, but I'll try and link as much stuff down below as I can. And if you are traveling this summer, I wish you happy and safe travels, and hope everybody has a great week and a great life, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!